Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. I really appreciate it. I know it's been a long week of camp and that you're all probably anxious to get home and get started on your weekends, but before we can do that, there are a few things that I would like to discuss. First off, I want to say thank you for a great first couple weeks of camp. I think they've gone very smoothly. I think the campers seem to be having a really good time, and that makes me very happy. But with that said, no matter how great things are going, there are always improvements that can be made, and that is what I would like to talk to you about today. Although the first few weeks of camp have gone pretty smoothly, there are a few changes that I believe should be made in order to enhance not only the campers' summers, but yours as well. Three areas in particular that I feel could use some improvement include taking your responsibilities a bit more seriously in regard to camper safety, being a little more enthusiastic and playful with the children, and being more helpful at the end of the day, especially during family pickup time. So while the camp day should be fun, it also needs to be understood just how serious this job is. For 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, we are essentially responsible for the safety and well-being of 100 young kids. Parents are trusting us to keep their children safe during this time, and it is our job to return them at the end of the day unscathed. So an incident occurred yesterday that cannot go without being brought to everyone's attention. We need to take this time to collaborate and find a way to ensure that it never happens again. Yesterday, a 5-year-old girl wandered off of camp, got out of the parking lot up the hill before anyone realized and ran after her. This cannot happen. We are very lucky that one of you noticed and ran after her before she got officially off camp property, but the repercussions had she gone unnoticed could have been absolutely catastrophic. This is terrible, guys. There is no reason that she should have been able to wander away like that. These kids, especially the little ones, need to be watched at all times. Now, I'm really not trying to scare you. I'm more just trying to make you aware of how much responsibility you have, because everything turned out fine. She's okay. Nothing bad really happened, but you just have to see the gravity of the situation, because I genuinely would really just like to have a conversation with you and try to get some input on how we can learn from this experience. Are there not enough counselors in the younger groups to sufficiently keep an eye on everyone? Do we have to hire more staff? These are things that we can explore for sure, but before we do that, I kind of want to bring to your attention a few things that I've noticed that I feel could have led to this problem. Something that I've noticed is that several of you are on your phones quite a bit throughout the day, and now I completely understand the connection that we have to our phones and what a big role they play in our lives, but every moment spent on your phone is a moment spent distracted from watching your campers. So I ask that for the 4 hours a day that you're at camp, that you please either leave your phones in your car or leave them inside the rec center with me. They'll be safe, nothing's going to happen to your phones, I promise, but I feel that this small change will do wonders for minimizing distractions and maximizing the safety of the camp environment, because it will allow you to really keep an eye on your campers. So now that I feel that we have effectively covered safety and the responsibilities that go along with that, I would really like to discuss your level of enthusiasm in regard to how you approach the daily camp activities. I completely understand it's hot outside, the kids are young, and playing games like tag and duck duck goose are not really things that you want to be doing with your lives, but the more excited you are, the more excited the campers are going to be. You guys are the cool high schoolers that they look up to, and anything that you think is cool, they're going to think is cool as well. So if you mope around while they play their games, and they're going to start moping as well. But if you get super hyped and enthusiastic about the day's activities, your campers will really enjoy what they're doing and be excited to come to camp every day. I've noticed that there's a lot of sitting around, especially on days when weather is not ideal. It really is important that we keep the campers active, because mopey, inactive campers really reflect poorly on us. If campers are going home to their parents at the end of the day, complaining that they didn't do much and complaining that they didn't have fun, parents are going to start to question whether Michiana Day Camp is the right place for them, and that's not what we want. So I know that it's hard on a rainy or really hot day to muster the excitement to get moving, but if campers see that you don't really want to be here, they won't want to be here either. So please try to keep them active, even on poor weather days. If you have to just tell them stories or play games inside, no matter what it is, just please try to make sure that they're having fun. Another thing that's grasped my attention recently is that I've seen several of you socializing inside the rec center during the day as opposed to being outside with your campers. So I'm glad that you're all such good friends and that you get along so well, but every moment spent inside gossiping is a moment that a camper's not being watched, and this again is a safety hazard. So please save all your gossiping and all your catching up with your friends and do it on your own time, because on the time that we're here at camp, I really need you to be on your game and making sure everyone's safe and having a good time. So the third topic that I would like to discuss is pickup time procedure. Pickup time at the end of the day is extremely important, and I could really use some help from all of you to make sure that it goes as smoothly and efficiently as possible. So in order to make sure that all campers make it to their parents safely, I need you guys to sit with your groups until every last camper is left. I know that you guys are all anxious to get home after a long morning at camp, but I've noticed that some of you have been starting the cleanup process during pickup time in order to leave early, and I know that this is tempting, but it's really not a good idea, because with all the cars coming and going, it's so crucial that you're with your campers and know where they are at all times, because especially with the little ones, if they see their parents pulling up and get excited, they might be tempted to run out and meet them. And this is so dangerous because, God forbid, if a child were to get hit by a car, that would just be so tragic, and I don't want to think about that. So please just take the time, sit with your campers, make sure they all make it safely to their parents, and then start the cleanup process, and then you get to go home. That would just make everything so much better. And so on average, the pickup process has taken us about an hour every day. That's approximately 36 seconds per child. So if we were able to improve this by even 10 seconds per child, this would save us about 17 minutes at the end of the day. And I believe that with everyone's help, we can make this a much quicker and more efficient process. And in order to do this, I ask that you get to know your campers a little bit better, because it really reflects poorly on us if a parent drives up and asks for their camper and you don't know exactly where that child is at that time. Any little thing that we can do to reinforce that you're bonding with your campers and that they've chosen the right place by sending them to day camp here is really a positive thing for us. So please, when a parent comes, know who all the kids are, maybe have at least one or two nice things to say about the child so that the parents know that you're getting to know them and that their kids really are in a positive environment. And that can, again, reinforce that they're in the right place. So those were the 3 points I was really hoping to discuss today. Taking your responsibilities a bit more seriously when it comes to keeping campers safe during the camp day, being more enthusiastic and playful with the campers, and being more helpful at the end of the day, especially during pickup time. So I think that this was a very productive meeting. Everything that I was hoping to discuss was brought up. So please let me know if you're able to come up with any further ideas or solutions to these issues, or if any other issues are to arise. Implementing these ideas will help create a more positive and safe environment for everyone and allow us to finish off the season strongly. So have a great weekend, and I will see you Monday. Thanks, guys.